instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife has cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like... Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
Sarah Ruth Ashcraft on Twitter, who has been accusing Tom Hanks of her when she was 13. Her dad sold her to Tom Hanks.
Since when has this brand of common decency and professionalism been put on hold just because of dynamics in the workplace?
O'clock. Ricky Gervais explains why he never cared about pleasing Hollywood elites. He says he wrote every joke himself and chose to entertain the millions watching at home instead of the rich celebrities sitting in the room. Then comes the now viral Epstein joke that left the audience frozen. At the 2020 Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais roasted everyone, from Leonardo DiCaprio to Apple and Hollywood culture itself. But the moment everyone remembers is when he mentioned Jeffrey Epstein and said, "I know he's your friend, but I don't care." The camera instantly...
What made you think, you know what, I'm just going to hammer him? I don't care what the...
Well, I thought, when they said, do you want to host the Golden Globes, all that stuff I said in the show was true. I said, I'm going to write my own jokes. Right? And I thought, who do I pander to? The 200 richest people in the room, or the 200 million people watching at home who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires?
Frame by frame, asking why he looked so uncomfortable during Ricky's Epstein joke. Online discussions connected the moment to old rumors, accusations, and growing conversations about Hollywood elites. 4 to 5 o'clock. The internet began connecting unrelated stories into one massive conspiracy narrative. Old allegations resurfaced, strange social media posts were analyzed, and discussions around the Epstein files intensified. Meanwhile, people discovered that Tom Hanks' brother, Jim Hanks, voiced Woody in many Toy Story projects, adding another strange layer to online discussions. 5 to 6 o'clock. Ricky Gervais continued defending controversial comedy and freedom of speech. He argued that comedians shouldn't censor themselves just because people feel offended. According to Ricky, comedy should challenge taboos and uncomfortable subjects instead of protecting powerful egos in Hollywood.
Thrown off. Like someone just said something at a dinner party that you really weren't expecting, and now you don't know where to look. Jaw down, eyes wide, not a great poker face. That clip gets screenshotted instantly. Biggest meme of the night.
Watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, just like Jeffrey Epstein.
Never.
Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
7 to 9:28. The conversation expanded beyond award shows into wider discussions surrounding Jeffrey Epstein and powerful figures connected to him. Commentators claim Hollywood insiders ignored disturbing behavior for years while others tried exposing it. The video ends by questioning how deep the Epstein network truly went and why so many details remain hidden today. Massive conspiracy narrative. Old allegations resurfaced, strange social media posts were analyzed, and discussions around the Epstein files intensified. Meanwhile, people discovered that Tom Hanks' brother, Jim Hanks, voiced Woody in many Toy Story projects, adding another strange layer to online discussions. Clip 6. 5 to 6 o'clock. Ricky Gervais continued defending controversial comedy and freedom of speech. He argued that comedians shouldn't censor themselves just because people feel offended. According to Ricky, comedy should challenge taboos and uncomfortable subjects instead of protecting powerful egos in Hollywood. Clip 7. 6 to 7 o'clock. As the viral moment spread online, viewers became obsessed with Tom Hanks' reaction. People debated why that particular Epstein joke seemed to affect him more than any other joke that night. Theories, rumors, and celebrity discussions flooded comment sections.
And now you and I both know that Tom Hanks voices Woody, right? Oh, we're wrong. In the 90s is when Woody first burst onto the screen with the rest of the toys in Toy Story. And I'm sure we all remember Tom Hanks' voice saying, "There's a snake in my boot," or "You are a toy!" Yeah, but what if I told you that Tom Hanks didn't really do all of it? So in the franchise itself, Tom Hanks has 10 credits as Woody. There's someone with even more, which means that Tom Hanks doesn't voice Woody as much as the other person, which then means that Woody is somebody else, statistically speaking. And that person is the one and only Jim Hanks. That's right, his brother. Jim has 24 credits as Woody, and Jimbo has made a career off of impersonating his own brother. So we actually hear Jim Hanks doing an impersonation of his brother doing Woody. Jim as Woody can be heard in TV shows, films, and...
Instead of watching this show, a show about a man wanting to end himself after his wife dies of cancer. And it's still more entertaining than this. Ricky Gervais shocks the crowd with brutal jokes at the Golden Globes, then drops a line about Jeffrey Epstein that instantly changes the room. The camera cuts to Tom Hanks, visibly uncomfortable, and the internet explodes with theories and speculation. Clip 2. 1 to 2 o'clock. Ricky Gervais explains why he never cared about pleasing Hollywood elites. He says he wrote every joke himself and chose to entertain the millions watching at home instead of the rich celebrities sitting in the room. Then comes the now viral Epstein joke that left the audience frozen. Clip 3. 2 to 3 o'clock. At the 2020 Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais roasted everyone.
It's offense, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. You know, it's offense is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you know, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing, you know, because I'm not doing it for the 200 egos in the room. I'm doing it for the 200 million people watching around who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires. And freedom of speech is so important these days. I've reached the age now where I don't care anymore. It's a sin. Not to joke about all the bad things, that's a waste. Because that's exactly what we should joke about. If you can laugh in the face of adversity, you're bulletproof.
He is totally right about all of this. And also, the minute he steps off set, every one of the heartbeats of the View.
At Zorro.
So twisted and so dark.
Jeffrey Epstein's mansion of horrors in the middle of nowhere.
Some of the most heinous things that anyone could imagine.
Place so evil.
Both died by strangulation during rough fetish sex.
No one could hear his victims' screams.
He destroyed my life.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
The Zorro Ranch in New Mexico sounds like it could be a desert Disneyland. After all, it was named after the fictional masked crusader.
By